Pastors I know will do that exact same thing for their church because they know it's honorable that the church pays its bills. So for us as members of this church, our number one financially caring for the pastor should be tithing. Number two, treat the pastor and his family out for a meal. Take him out to lunch on Sundays. Take him out to lunch in the middle of the week. Or dinner is probably easier in the middle of the week. Invite them over to your house so they don't have to pay for their food or wash dishes. Just care for them that way. Or buy them a gift certificate so they can just take their own family out privately. And they don't, or maybe give them a gift certificate for groceries or something along those lines. You can also gift them rewards that you earn, like hotel stays and airline miles for them going on vacation, or maybe if they need to go to a conference. And also, my mom and dad used to do this a lot, and they still do, I'm pretty sure, is they'll do random grocery drops, where you just go buy a bunch of groceries and just give it to them and say, here you go. It's really fun. So those are some ideas that you can do to help. Know on certain terms that the kid I appoint is in charge, and the others have to do what the appointed one says. Much to their dismay, I reiterate that they are to do what he says, just like they are to do what I say. Then I take the appointed one aside, and I say, they are your responsibility. If they catch the house on fire, protect them from people like that. If our pastor is taking heat for a just cause, don't let him wonder where you stand. You need to let him know that you are there with him. Let him know you are behind him and you support him, and defend him verbally if you hear gossip. Okay, second letter to Timothy again, in 2:2. You have heard me teach things that have been confirmed by many reliable witnesses. Now teach these truths to other trustworthy people who will be able to pass those on to others. What any pastor really, really wants are disciples who have a thirst for learning and in turn take what they have learned to teach and minister to others. A humble spirit that has a thirst for knowledge and feels that they can always learn something new is a heart of a disciple. That attitude of a real disciple is a blessing to the pastor, and dependable people that bring exceptional strength and support to him are invaluable. To play. One of the pastors I interviewed wrote that he wished people knew what an amazing experience it is as a leader when people I am working with are fully celebrating their spiritual gifts and callings. Participating in God's kingdom is our privilege as followers of Christ, and it's not just something that is for the pastor to do. So, what are some practical ways to honor and emotionally support our pastor? Number one, submit to his authority, honor and respect him. Number two, write and call and just tell him how much you appreciate him. Encourage him. Number three, protect the pastor and his family from gossip and any Alexanders out there. Let the pastor know he has your support. Don't just think it in your head. Let him know. When you see a problem, see if you can help in solving it. Don't just complain about it. Notifying the pastor of a problem is a helpful thing to do. But if you can actually solve the problem instead of making him have to do it, that is invaluable to him. We need to be praying for the pastor and his wife and his family. And we need to pray for them as often as we think about it. And you can ask them for specific prayer requests, but even if you don't have a specific prayer request, pray for them. They need it. I don't even know what number we're on. I don't think I wrote numbers. Another one, volunteer and follow through. The follow through part is the main catch there, right? Don't just volunteer and then never show up. Volunteer and follow through. Help shoulder the load of making the church run. Be dependable and be someone who the pastor can rely on. Encourage your pastor after his sermon by telling him what God taught you. Be specific. Don't just say, Pastor, you did a great job. Because all that is doing is puffing up his ego, and it actually won't really, it's nice, I guess, but what you really want to do, and the most beneficial thing, is that you need to specifically tell him how God used him to teach you something. That's going to encourage him, and it's going to keep his attention off of his own giftedness and on to God's godliness. God's godliness. Okay, be sensitive. This one is actually from one of the pastors' wives I talked to, which I had never thought of, and it was an excellent, is be sensitive to not